All right. Do either of you know what the Defense of Marriage Act is?
Yes, I think it's the act that states that a marriage is a union only between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it again, please? The act.
No.
So?
The marriage act is
Not the Defense of Marriage Act.
You can make the copy made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time.
I do believe it's constitutional.
All right.
I would say it's unconstitutional. I think it will ultimately be proved. That's why the Supreme Court nominees are so important. With this court, 5-4, it might, I never know. But I would say I'm not a lawyer, so what do I know? But I think that I would say it is unconstitutional.
All right.
I have issues with the idea of constitutionality. I think it's wrong.
All right.
You don't have
I think it's somewhere in between.
Okay.
Like unconstitutional because everybody has a right to their opinion. Like it's their day, whatever. Marry, like love, your love should be legal. It should be legal in every state. Like gay marriage should be legal in every state.
Okay, so I'm a statesperson as opposed to the U.S. government, so I would say that it's constitutional. I treat the Constitution based on state things.
All right.
A divorced dad. I came out of a hetero marriage. I was married for 21 years, and I had every right, every civil liberty under the face of under the sun. And then all of a sudden, because I come out and I'm true to myself and I'm true to my family and my children, I'm not even a second-class citizen, and it's very unfair. And having been in a marriage already, I would. If somebody wants to get married, I think that's their right. But even if we were allowed a civil union or something along that line, and the way it stands right now, if I'm correct, the way it stands right now, you can't even a common law marriage between hetero male and female. You don't even have the rights that they used to have before the Defense of Marriage Act.
So you say it's unconstitutional?
I think it's unconstitutional. How can you put one segment of society as not even second class? There's no rights at all. If my partner becomes ill, and even though he's on my health insurance, if he becomes ill and if he's dying or something, I have no right to go in and even say what happens to him, what type of care. I can't even go in the room. I mean, so far, he's had a couple of hospital stays. He's perfectly healthy and fine, but there's been a couple of times he's had to go in the hospital over the past couple of years. I've been allowed in the room, but if it's a life and death situation, his family has the right and I don't. It's like, wait a minute, we've shared our lives together and we've shared our goals together, and why is it that I can't have the same as everybody else? And what kind of example is that for other people? For my children. All of a sudden I don't have rights with them. I mean, not with them, but it's just an example. So the divorce rate is so high. My divorce was not saying this, most of the straight couples, but yet the divorce rate is so high, and it's far-right Christians that are screaming and yelling about the tradition of marriage. But the tradition of marriage, as it stands today, only came about at the end of the 19th century, the early 20th century. And prior to that, the unions were formed because, out west, she was the only woman and he was a single guy. They got married. It wasn't like people fell in love and everything. It was a marriage. A lot of those are marriages of convenience.
Right.
And so to say that it's a traditional marriage, through the course of history, they were never traditional. Look at all these weddings around the world. All of these. These countries and faiths where they're arranged marriages. What? But yet it's the tradition of marriage. Doesn't cut it. So I do think it's just so unfair. It's unconstitutional. It needs to be overturned. And it'll get there.